So in the early 1980s, McDonald's was really struggling to sell something new to customers after that burger backlash. So they tried testing tons of different products, like a deep fried pot pie, a bite-sized onion ring. They even tried fried chicken, but nobody could compete with KFC. KFC's like, don't even try. Don't even try, bitch. Finally, the McDonald's CEO was like, hey, why don't we do like a bite-sized piece of chicken? What if we called it a chicken nugget, right? I bet that guy went home and was like, I did that shit. So they called up Tyson, right? Get him on the line. And together with like a food scientist named Robert C. Baker from Cornell University, in 1983, together they birthed the McNugget. Yes!
McNuggets.
McNuggets make their debut on the McDonald's menu. Now, this is a day I celebrate. This is my Christmas, the birthday of the McNugget. And like, look, everyone was stoked. They loved this shit. It was an instant hit. They were like, what is this? They didn't know. It was a McNugget. Barbecue sauce? Try that, bitch. Changed the game. We grew up eating McDonald's a lot, and I would always get chicken nuggets, and my sister would get the sweet and sour sauce, and I was like, ew. I would get the barbecue. Barbecue is way better than the sweet and sour. Please, you can't convince me, okay? And then to this day, I mean, my chicken nuggets are my like comfort food. Don't come for me, I'm sorry, but I do like a 10-piece. What are you gonna do about it? Okay, I know, great. Okay, so anyways, McNuggets, a damn hit. They are banging, popping, living, laughing, loving. Yep. McDonald's, they were literally running out of chicken daily. Can you imagine? The news was doing reports on like how people would wait in long lines just to get their hands on a McNugget. And Tyson was becoming the go-to chicken company when it came to fast food. Over the next few years, Tyson's client list included Taco Bell, Burger King, and even Kentucky Fried Chicken. By 1986, Tyson officially becomes the #1 poultry processor in all of America. Tyson's products, I mean, they're in grocery stores, they're in school cafeterias, at the drive-thru, they were everywhere. You couldn't avoid them. They even had a fun new little slogan, good, doing our best, just for you. Not really catchy or anything, right? But okay. But Tyson started to have some serious problems, okay? They're like, shit, man, we need more fucking chickens. I mean, they were having a hard time meeting demand and getting all that chicken out to their customers. So in 1989, Tyson, who's just flushed with cash at this point, decides to make a boss-ass move, and they end up buying their competitor, Holly Farms. I know, bye Holly. Sorry girl, you're out. Even though Tyson was everywhere, Holly Farms was the more trusted grocery store chicken brand. People liked that one. Holly Farms was over like 100 years old, and they didn't want to like give up the company without a fight. So after negotiating for years, Don Tyson ends up paying $1.29 billion for Holly Farms. That's a lot of money. Holly was probably stoked though. She's on a jet ski now, just smiling, living. Good for her. I bet you it's not even Holly who owns it, right? So literally overnight, Tyson had doubled in size, and their sales in the first year, ooh, that doubled too. And Tyson became the undisputed chicken fucking king of the world. Chicken king, the boss, the chicken boss. So Tyson, they go on to spend the next few decades gobbling up other smaller chicken companies and expanding their product line to beef, pork, and even fish. But behind the curtain, Tyson is putting people and animals through hell. Let's talk about how they are able to sell so much chicken to people like you and me. But with everything they have going on, it's no wonder shit literally hits the fan. Or a chicken hits the fan. But now that Tyson was such a large company, things obviously had to change. Farming and butchering back in the day was the size of a small family business. Things were done by hand, animals were killed as efficiently as possible, and usually pretty humanely, which is like what you would hope for, right? This was done with a stunning bolt to the head or a clean chop of the neck. But then farmers raised these animals from babies, so they felt an obligation to keep their suffering to a minimum, right? It's like, I know that baby chicken. I named her Tommy. Tommy can be a name for both men and women. Sorry. Anyways, people were they were attached to the chickens. So, you know, they're going to be nice when they chop their head off. Say a prayer. This is also back when chickens were like free range and living outside and also eating a healthy diet. But all this changed with the Industrial Revolution and big brands like Tyson. They slaughtered 45 million chickens every week. That's a lot of chickens. And they aren't just slaughtering them. It's cheaper for Tyson to be in control of every aspect of the chicken's life. This is so that they can raise them and butcher them as quickly as possible, which honestly sucks if you're a chicken, right? Today, the birds that are raised by Tyson are selectively bred to be supersized. But these chickens are intentionally bred to be so big that they can barely walk. So once they've hatched their Frankenstein supersized chicks, they're debeaked, which use your imagination on that one, because I didn't know they debeaked them. Brutal. And then they live their lives in either a feathery mosh pit or inside cages so small that the poor chicks can't even stretch their wings. Then they're pumped with hormones to make them as fat as possible. And all of this happens in a big ass factory. If you're a Tyson chicken, odds are you've most likely never seen the sun or even the grass. It's kind of like the chicken matrix, except they don't get a beautiful simulation to escape to, and obviously no Keanu Reeves. So, not ideal. But this isn't even getting into the nitty-gritty of it all. Back in 2022, Vox reported on an undercover investigation of Tyson. Well, let me tell you, of a Tyson factory farm. And this farm was like outside of Richmond, Virginia. Great. And this was like the kind of article where I didn't want to keep reading, but of course, naturally, I kept reading. The investigator documented hours and hours of horrifying footage. They reported that many of these Tyson chickens were stuffed into dark warehouses and had, quote, severe injuries, wounds, and deformities. Yeah, you think they're beefing them up. Of course they're deformed. They have these little chicken legs. They have literal chicken legs and bigger bodies. They can't even walk. It's so sad. Now, oh my God, chicken legs. It all makes sense now. I never put two and two together. God, I love this show. Learned something new. Chicken leg went right over my head. Anyways, back to the sadness. Sorry. Chicken legs though, noted. They saw chickens deprived of food and water. There was like rat infestations and bugs in the chicken's feed. The investigator said, quote, "It's a living nightmare. A video does not do it any justice," end quote. I bet you it smelled like shit. I mean, this horror show is the polar opposite of the advertising you see on the Tyson like chicken packaging about their chicks being happy and healthy and like running in this country of fresh chickens. Okay, well, listen to this. So you know how like those free range labels you see on chickens and eggs at the grocery store? And you're like, yay, what does that even mean? I don't know, but free, you know, the chicken had a good life or yeah. Well, I'm about to blow your mind.